Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you my seed organizational system, and it's really not much of a system, so don't worry. But I switched to this this is a 4x6, and I know all my labels are upside down right now. This is a 4x6 photo holder. And I got this at Michael's for like 10 to 12 bucks. It was on sale, and then I had a additional 20% off your whole purchase coupon when I bought it. But Michael's does that kind of stuff all the time, so I would definitely watch for that. And you can also find them on Amazon, and I'll link some below in the description for you if you want to just purchase that way. But I have really loved using this. I found it a super helpful way for me to kind of make sure I'm not forgetting about seeds, but also it makes it really easy to go through and find the seeds you're looking for. Previously, I had used just one of those plastic shoe boxes, and I had organized everything in alphabetical order, but I was finding that I would forget about certain seeds, or I would accidentally miss a packet, or I was like taking out a bunch of stuff to take it out to the garden to plant, and then I would like set it aside and it wouldn't end up back in the bin. It was just kind of a big mess. There was no easy way to keep it organized because I had to sit there and flip through and slide everything back in alphabetical order. So, did a lot of singing the ABCs after a while. So I really like this system. It is awesome. You got a great handle. You can carry it anywhere you want. And inside, this one has 16 cases. You can find smaller ones if you don't have as many seeds as I do. I have I would average and say 125, somewhere between 100 and probably 150 packets. And that's plenty of room. The only thing that kind of is a space hog is things like your beans. So I only have like 4 bean packets in one of these cases. And stuff like if you have smaller corn packets or anything like that, you might decide that you don't want to store them in just because they do take up space. I have room right now just because I'm not maxing out a lot of my other boxes. But eventually that might be something I pull out. But I've kind of organized it by the type of seed. So some are together, like this is my lima beans and my runner beans. And then sometimes I've organized things like stuff that I'll plant at similar times, like cabbage and any greens, like greens being like arugula and stuff like that. I'm always probably going to be planting those at the same time. So I can just grab this packet and I have all of those right here together. So I have found that makes it a lot simpler when I'm going out to the garden. When I went out a month or so ago and I wanted to put some of my early greens and lettuces in, I just, grabbed this box. I grabbed my box with all my different lettuce seeds in it, and then I was good to go. I also really like having them in these boxes because it does help protect them when you carry them, especially if you're carrying them outside or something like that where they might get wet. You're less likely to end up losing packets just because you accidentally soaked it with a hose or something like that. Some packets have one thing in them, tons of tomato seeds, so all my tomatoes are in there together. Squash also take up a little bit more room, so they're in their own packet together, or in their own box together. And then I generalized stuff, all my herbs are together in one box. All of my, what else do I have? All of my flower seeds are together in one box. And then of course I have, you end up with the odds and ends in here, like, eggplant. That's not usually something I really plant a lot of. This was from the Mike the Gardener seed subscription thing. I usually just buy, there's a farm that I go up to usually every few weeks in the summer and get fruit. And they always have seconds eggplants, so I'll usually just grab a few. We just don't need a lot of eggplant. But then also I have my kohlrabi in here. I only have grown this one kind of kohlrabi. So I have my odds and ends box, but it's pretty easy because I usually know what I'm looking for. So I always just know to go to that box because I usually only have one variety. But I just wanted to show you guys this system. I think this is a super inexpensive, cost-effective way, but also a very practical way to store your seeds. And it's been helpful too, because I've actually just handed this box and loaned it to a couple of friends when they've been wanting to start gardens, just because I have so many seeds, and some of them I've noticed that their germination rates have become really poor because they are a few years old now. So I'm always happy to lend this to people, and this makes it a very easy way to just hand the whole box to somebody and say, go through, pick out what you want, and there you go. So I just wanted to show you guys this really briefly. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you haven't checked out our chicken experiment that we're doing with Cornish Cross and Red Rangers, be sure to check that out. I'll link that above. See you guys.